Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 760 Geeks in Space. I am Rob, Commander Taco Malda, and joining me, of course, in pretend low Earth orbit, I have Chris DeBona.
Hi.
And Rob Roseboom.
Hello.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
Fine.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I right in the last couple of minutes, I just threw up a couple of things. I haven't even watched.
Couple of dozen things.
Yeah, no, I had a lot of like rando stuff just flowing in. The Letterkenny season 11 trailer, which I'm looking forward.
I want to savor that.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy that one in a few minutes. Although I hate to say it now, after I think Shoresy was so good, I think I'm gonna find Letterkenny to be a bit of a letdown.
Shoresy is so good.
I know, like Shoresy had a heart.
Yeah, I bet. It just happened to be doing headstands while swearing at people.
Right. Oh, interesting. I'm
Roseboom. What's your evaluation of Shoresy?
It was okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, let's see. The other one that I just threw up is one for you to watch in a little bit, but it's the Andor trailer, but made as a 70s. I think it's you. He's a man with a mission or whatever, but like slit scan art and shot, processed to look really aged. It's really cool. I enjoyed it tremendously. Chris, I'm gonna work off of my list. I think I'm sorting today by hot. No, I'll sort by new because then we're on the same page at least, or theoretically on the same page. The oldest one that I had was the first tasting of plant-based oysters, and I only shared this because I happen to know, Chris, that you like oysters.
I like oysters,
and you and I have in fact shared oysters, like in New York. At that train station one time
in Las Vegas.
And I'm not like a huge oyster fan. I like oysters just fine, but like wine, I like it just fine. But if you gave me 5 different wines or 5 different oysters, I'm not going to know the difference. But I was curious how you feel about plant-based oysters.
I guess. Okay. So the thing about oysters is they're one of the best, aquaculture farmed things for the environment. They clean the water, so I'm like, yeah, it's fine. Let people make their oyster alikes, but I think the Billion Oyster Project deserves every dollar these people have been collecting. If you care about the environment, if you care about aquaculture, then
what's the Billion Oyster Project?
Oh, the Billion Oyster Project's the coolest. So for like, I don't know, 15 years now, they go around New York to all the oyster bars and they collect the shells.
Okay.
And they dump them into the harbor, right? They seed them now.
Okay.
And dump them into the harbor. And so they give a new home for new oysters, basically, to build.
Are the shells? Oh, the shells aren't fertile. They're just acting as.
Well, they're empty.
Right.
Yeah. So here you go.
They act as substrate for the young oysters to attach.
Gotcha.
To.
And like they have cleaned up the Hudson, basically.
Yep.
They're on track. I mean, you still probably don't want to drink it, but I mean, it's.
Do you put them in the water in those mesh containers, or you just toss them in?
No, they put them inside the containers. Pre-seeded nowadays with little baby oysters.
That's cool.
Yeah. Oysters filter a ton of water.
I guess I knew that living ones did. I didn't realize that the shells were that effective.
No.
They are living. Yeah. They're living oysters, man.
I see.
They just use the shells as a place for the little oysters to attach.
Oh, aren't they cute?
They're adorable.
Oh, until they rise up and kill us all.
Well, I guess that's why you would want to eat a plant-based one, so that you could say, "Hey, I wasn't eating you."
That's true.
These guys. I had to plant one.
It was the other human.
It was the other human. Remember, you don't have to run faster than the oyster. You just have to run faster than everybody else.
Right.
The oysters will get your friend first.
Right. Oh, we are dropping frames today. Interesting. All right. Let's see.
Frames lose games, man.
That's right. Boy,
That's cool though. I mean,
we're
it's
dropping a
fine.
lot of
I'd like to
frames.
try one.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
when I had an Impossible Burger that first time,
Yeah.
it was cooked really well. I mean, it was okay.
I've tried the various veggie burgers from the supermarket, and I have never had one that I've liked.
So the trick, so I don't like the other ones, but the Impossible Burger, don't overcook it because that's what people do, and then it just doesn't taste very good. You need to preserve the bloody, nature of it.
It's close. It's the
It's
closest,
close.
I think.
I mean, I'd say I still prefer meat.
Yeah, no, for my money, no matter how you cook it, it still doesn't taste like meat.
All right.
It's like saying spaghetti squash is a viable alternative to spaghetti. It just isn't.
No.
You know what I mean?
You're a liar.
You meant well.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me with food. Yeah.
All right, we got a Quake 1 port to the Apple Watch, and following in my long-standing tradition of sharing anything about Doom or Quake being ported to something weird.
There's like a whole subreddit for this now.
Yeah, for sure. I love this. And there's actually been active development because there's like a clean source code base now for I think for Doom that like is really easy to port it to different stuff now. But they just have it's nothing. It's just the stuff amuses me. I always like when they port the old stuff.
It's neat
to ridiculous platforms. And there's a little video clip if you watch it, but it's it's exactly what you think. It's Quake on a watch, the least playable interface ever.
Oh, good lord, that looks not as fun.
Yeah, we're dropping 12% of our frames. I wonder if it's my internet or if it's not my computer. My internet must be bogging down today. I apologize to the live stream. I'll upload a clean episode in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So I also have on the list a weird one. This is that we were talking about the Pantone story, but this is some dude hundreds of years ago who made a book with every color he possibly could come up with based on, the pigments of his era. And like, I gotta tell you, I respect that kind of obsessive attention to detail.
Wow.
In like a primal way. And like I actually think like if you scroll down, Chris, and look at some of these pages, like that's obsessive, and
hand painted,
right? Hand mixed every one of those color combos.
Hand painted, hand written, Good lord.
Imagine how successful he'd be if Home Depot existed back then.
Right?
I mean, this guy would have a career forever.
It wouldn't be like how we had to make the guys go back and get new color matches on our house like 3 times.
They'd be like, no, get Van Morger. We want this paint mixed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I didn't see what his name was. I just thought he was Dutch.
Seems plausible.
It's Boogert. A Boogert. He would have a hard time in modern day.
That's true.
Parlance. Go get the nose picker. We got to find some paint.
Well, the big surprise story in the media yesterday was that Bob Iger is coming back to CEO at Disney, and Bob Chapek is out after just like 2.5 years.
I would like to go back to the episode where we talked about Chapek being out, and I was like, because I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was telling her that if I were Bob Iger, I'd get the hell out too. Let someone else take the bullet for the next 2 years. And
he got out.
I think I said this on the broadcast.
You might have. He got out at like weeks before COVID, and it was like planned, and so like it was so well timed that you had to be just like, wow, what does that guy know?
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
Well, I mean, because Thanos was done. Phase 3 was done.
Yep.
I think Star Wars wasn't as great. Pixar was sort of on the decline. I think he was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a beat.
Right.
Let this guy, JPEG take the hit for this one.
Yep. So Mercedes is now selling a $1,200 subscription plan, which basically adds like 50 horsepower to your car after you bought it. I don't like that. That makes me grumpy.
And it's EV.
Yeah.
What makes you grumpy about it?
Sell me a damn thing. Sell me the
They
damn
are.
thing, and then
They-
don't like change the damn thing. Just like sell me the object. I want to be able to open it up. I want to be able to take it apart and do whatever I want to it. And don't make me buy
Well,
it again next month.
well, that boat has shipped, or
I know.
that ship has sailed long ago,
I
my
know.
friend.
I know.
I think this is shitty too.
Yeah, this is super
You know,
shitty.
like we talked about it before. Like, you know, what are they going to have power steering as a microtransaction now? Like, how far
Oh,
down
you
are
want
they
to
going
turn
to go?
left? Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
Left costs extra.
anti-lock
Cost extra.
brakes. Anti-lock brakes. That's $6 a month.
Yeah.
Just,
Oh, you want to go in reverse? Yeah, that's another $10. Thanks.
yeah.
Blinkers. Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't get the blinker
Oh,
package.
can you imagine, like, if they went to a full microtransaction environment, like they didn't let you buy the car anymore? It was all microtransactions.
Yeah, you just piece
People
together
would,
the
you would charge them, like if they take a right turn without using a blinker, you charge them more because
Oh.
safety. You know?
Well, at this point, after you've bought your car, you should just get a bill at the end of the month for every mile you drove too. You bought it once. Why not?
yeah.
Like
Why
just
not?
all right. I can't help but notice you drove 730 miles this month. That'll be another $730 for the car that you already bought from us.
Well, that's what insurance already is kind of moving towards, right? You can get those sensors that keep track of how fast you drive, how far you drive, what time of day it is when you drive,
Good Lord.
Yeah,
and all that stuff. So,
that would actually probably
uh,
work out well for me because I barely drive. But yeah,
Me
And
too.
the more I think about this, the more I just want my car to hit 200,000 miles.
yeah.
And buy one more car before the end of all cars.
For you,
yeah, and then you can save yourself a little bit money and not get high beams. You know, how often do you really use high beams?
and really, those are usually for other people.
Well,
Yeah.
they that's not true. They just approved the NTSB. I don't know who approves this crap. They just approved the pattern headlights. So in Europe, as you're driving, it watches incoming traffic and it basically cuts out that piece of the light. It's basically a projector now. It's not
Yeah.
a light. And so it cuts out that piece so those people don't get blinded by you. But yeah, so they just approved that for the United States. So that's really exciting. I'm sure it'll be $12 a month though.
Yeah, well, sure. You got to charge a monthly fee for it. So NASA's Artemis launched, and the Orion has now swung its way around the moon, right? So we're, although I think the link that I shared might be a paywalled one because everything paywalled.
Yeah, that one's paywalled.
But anyway, Gratz.
That's good though. So it skimmed the surface of the moon, did it?
Yep, and they said that it got to fly atop like 3 former Apollo landing sites and take pictures. So there's somebody back in Florida photoshopping those out, so the flat earthers, will have something to talk about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I like that.
It's nice that it has a selfie cam.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sure. That's really in space.
right.
Look, it doesn't
Space.
even have a stars in it.
Right, you can
That's the
see
fakest looking moon I've ever seen in my life.
you can see the brush strokes.
Yeah, please.
You guys are a tough audience.
That's right. So Microsoft is there's more stories about the start menu getting ads injected into it for Windows. But my favorite thing about it is that when I was reading this, there were like multiple alternative start menus that you can buy. So you're going to get to the point where you're going to have to pay $5 for a start menu just to avoid the ad in your start menu.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Late stage capitalism, guys. It's going to work out great.
Can't wait until I open my shampoo and it plays an ad from inside it someplace.
Right?
Hey, oh, you want to put this on your hair? That's an extra $5.
No, you got to pay extra if you want to use it on your beard. You got to
Yeah.
buy the beard enhancement pack.
Well, it just keeps trying to encourage you to repeat because it's necessary, right?
Yeah, rinse and
Right.
repeat.
As
Yeah.
necessary. No, do it again. I'm sorry, like the lid won't close. You're not done yet. Until you've used 8 ounces of shampoo. Your hair can't
80%
possibly
of-
clean.
80% of users don't thoroughly wash their hair.
That's right. Well, yay. That's gonna happen. That's our future, guys. Let's see. Speaking of what turned out not to be our future, Amazon Alexa is they're gonna lay off a lot of people in that department.
Oh,
And
yeah,
they're
I was actually really surprised at
so
this.
was I. The article said that they're going to lose $10 billion a year, which makes me wonder what the hell they're spending all the money on.
Holy cow!
Is that like the whole
On
lab
what?
126? Or I mean, that's meta numbers, man.
Yeah, that's big bucks.
Whatever they're working on, my Alexa doesn't have that feature. like
Right.
really, how do they lose $10 billion?
How do you have 10,000 people working on it?
I don't think it was
It's
10,000. I think it was
madness.
1,000, but I guess I don't know.
No,
Okay.
10,000.
I thought it was
They
10,000
took
was the
10,000
layoffs across
jobs.
the
No,
country,
so
not
yeah, as usual,
across the
the
company.
Worldwide Digital Group lost that money. The
I mean, $1
vast
billion
majority
of it was
lost to
just Lord of the
blame on
Rings.
Alexa. Well, yeah. That's something.
Yeah, I don't, and I'll say, like, I have Google speaker devices and Apple speaker devices in my home, and they're all crap. Like it's almost embarrassing how many ways they get things wrong. Like we've talked about this before. The command that I have to open my drapes is more sun. And it worked fine until suddenly it decided I was saying Morrison and it kept opening Wikipedia. And it just does that sometimes.
What now? This is your HomeKit?
This one is the Apple one. The Google one does. The Google one fails in different ways.
Yeah, I mean,
they all
none of
fail.
them are perfect, but
No,
Why
it's
isn't your command open curtains?
because I have it. I use a shortcut to alternate it through like 3 or 4 different positions preset.
well, it's my understanding that Apple hears open curtains and it thinks you're saying it's curtains for Apple. And
could be.
Yeah, it could be.
Yep.
Or the Alexa group.
Yep. They're afraid that I want to cook Tim
well,
Cook.
what kills me about this is okay. So here's the thing. All right, this is also the Astro robot, and they're flying around internal Snooperbot, division. This is, I think this is pinning it on Alexa is showy, but
Yeah, I think that this might have been a little bit of a headline reach.
Yeah.
So we had another fun
maybe
one.
these are the same people who just bought iRobot, right? Or trying to.
I thought Apple. Oh, yeah, did Amazon buy iRobot?
They were trying to.
Yeah.
They're gonna.
I have one of those too.
I'm less impressed with my iRobot's ability to vacuum.
I'm very impressed with my robot's ability to get stuck under the same 6 different spots in my house
Jesus
every single
Christ.
time. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Do I have to oil you up so like Vaseline you so you don't get stuck every time? I put the little
Raised-
zones. I block zones of my house. Like, you can't walk, you can't vacuum anywhere over near there because if you get within 7 feet of it, you're drawn to my coffee table and you will be stuck underneath it because you hate me and you want my carpet dirty.
Yeah.
By the time I've unblocked you 7 times, I could have vacuumed my entire house twice.
We finally found a happy medium of, and so it only eats my kid's backpack maybe once a week now.
Right. I've just set mine up to only vacuum in the very specific safe areas, which is great because that's where most of the shit accumulates. But then you just got to go in every 3rd time and like get the corners.
Yeah.
I just vacuum manually like a peasant.
Yeah, well,
I don't trust robot
What's that
maids.
like?
I don't trust robot maids after watching Runaway as a child.
Oh yeah, really.
It didn't turn out very well for those people.
So we got an article in here about DVD sales, and now DVD sales have increased and Blu-ray sales have been falling. So now DVD sales are.
You went past
overshot it.
down.
I read one out of order. I'm sorry. But yeah, and the chart's actually really interesting. But it turns out that for a lot of folks, the fact that you can buy DVDs for like $5 means that's worth it. And I think that if you want 4K images, you probably got a streaming service anyway. So the value proposition of a Blu-ray, of a 4K Blu-ray, is reducing to the people who have the really high-end systems. But a DVD that costs you $5 and can be played in every device that you own, not a bad deal.
Gosh.
That chart is a percentages of the whole. It doesn't show the total sale of physical media. I have to assume that physical media in general is down, but I was surprised. The only reason I would want to buy a disc right now would be to buy a 4K Blu-ray with like all the extra audio tracks so that I could get like the Atmos and everything and have it not be compressed, because I have a lot of issues when you start streaming that stuff. But no, this is I just thought this was interesting. Those are non-trivial numbers.
It's weird.
Yep.
Like, yeah, what does this say about the streaming market?
Well, it says that streaming is good enough for 4K.
Yeah.
That's what it says. Which is a bummer, honestly, because I would happily double my bit rate for most of my video streams. Because darn it.
As you drop frames uploading.
Yeah, right. I'm dropping 3.6%, but this is the first time that we've been dropping frames on upload on a live stream in months. So something's probably happening at my cable company. Because it's not local lag. It's
and
actually,
again, we're complaining about our shoes to a man who has no feet.
right. Rob actually has to put his packets in envelopes and stamp and lick them.
Yeah. He's really dried out, desiccated because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
All that licking. We
got a story about skiing for you, Chris. Kinda.
Yeah. No, I'd love to say this is surprising, but there's gonna be more stories like this.
Yeah. Mostly, I just put this one up there because I was feeling very contrary, and I thought that it was hilarious. Well, I thought it was humorous that this story was about how the ski lift can't or they can't use it anymore because no one can ski in that part of the world. I was thinking, well, there's also every day thousands of people dying from drought, famine, war, severe weather, but they're all in countries that don't have skiing,
right,
or a lot of wealth. So maybe this will be the thing that gets people concerned about. What they're tearing down the ski lift.
Oh
We
man!
have to put a stop to global
now it's
warming.
hitting us.
pile into our private jets and fly there for a meeting.
Right. Meantime, there's a million famine evacuees going across to Africa right now.
Right.
But no ski lift. We better fix this in a hurry.
No,
we're not wrong, Mr. Rose.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. People generally won't notice anything until it affects them. Right. And then they're like, "Nah, I don't believe in it. That French ski resort, that was a failure from day one."
I think it's really just to protect the precious shoulders of the world skiers.
Yeah. Well, this story, it's frames. This isn't like a big
Chris
popular...
just got it.
No, I got it.
That was a good full second.
This isn't a big resort. This is like literally like where this little town would have the kids learn how to ski. Like it's like a little hometown kind of thing. So it has a lot of heart. The story does.
Yeah.
And they're tugging at the heartstrings on that, which made it even better to me as a comparison to.
Oh, yeah. Well, children won't be able to learn how to ski.
Well, your kids won't learn how to ski. Oh, I'm sorry,
man.
Wow,
that's
global
got to be
warming's
awful.
hitting you hard. Yeah. Their own little private ski resort isn't working.
Oh, their private ski resort. That's rough.
Yeah.
You know what they should do is they should partner with Belgium, because it turns out that Belgium has an excess of cocaine, and they can use that instead of snow.
So much cocaine that they can't physically burn it all. That's what the problem is.
That seems like a lot of cocaine.
Yes.
Are they worried about turning everyone into a crack addict or something? Or
no, what they're mostly worried about from the story is there have been reports that there's been drones going over the holding facility, and they're afraid that there's going to be a massive theft, that there's going to be since the criminals know where all the cocaine is held, that they're going to go and try to steal it because they have so much of it.
Do we know
literally
where
can't burn it fast enough?
Do we have a hard ID on Vin Diesel and the rest of the Fast and Furious crew? Because this seems like there could be a heist a brewing.
Yeah. I don't know. They never went for hard drugs, I thought.
No, so we just watched Fast Five with my kid because
Is
we
that the one
decided
with the vault?
the safe, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
good.
that's got great action sequences. But we were just talking about how the way that movie sets it up is yes, they are stealing money, but then they set it up that they're stealing it from the local town drug lord. So
Town
they're
bad man. Yeah.
they're being chased by the cops. The Rock is the cops. And they're still stopping the drug lord. So their theft is justifiable crime because they're helping the people. So great.
That's interesting that you went with that,
family.
because the very first thing I thought was celebrity solution as well. They hire Charlie Sheen, right?
Oh,
And they get him to go over there
yep.
and they help him, and he helps Belgian process and get rid of all that cocaine.
Send it up to the Sheen wing.
Maybe you hire some other, famous folks who have similar, talents and or issues,
Yeah,
Lindsay
yeah.
and it
Lohan.
becomes a reality show.
Oh, Cocaine
Rock.
Quest.
Yeah.
Man, like maybe we could judge. I think I might be a little too old for cocaine though, so I don't know that I'm going to be much of a help on this production.
I'd imagine it would make my heart explode.
Yeah.
I've never tried it, so.
Well, I'm at the age where just eating too much ice cream might make me explode.
Yeah,
okay,
the internet's for the young, though. That's for sure.
That's right. There's been a ton of World Cup related stories ranging from the armbands and the fact that they banned liquor sales 2 days before the event.
I'm like, have you been to a soccer game?
And Budweiser was like one of the premier sponsors. Like, hey guys, we're the premier sponsors, and we can't sell our stuff.
Did you guys see the Iranian team refuse to sing their national anthem?
Yeah.
As big as church bells. That's what I have to say about those guys, because that's not going to go well when they get back home.
Right.
They're like, we're not going back home. Screw that.
Yeah.
But all the human rights stuff that's happened around this World Cup is really embarrassing. I mean, I know nothing will happen because nobody cares, but I did like that even the EU is warning you not to install the World Cup apps because they're just leaking data, and clearly they're just they're hoovering it up over there, and like they're getting who everybody calls. They're tracking everything. So like it's scary to me because in the weeks that follow this, people are going to disappear.
Yeah.
Well, this has been trouble since
they started building the stadiums.
Well, yeah, when Qatar basically bribed FIFA to get the World Cup, and then they started importing slave labor.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a story, years and years in the making.
Yeah.
It's been problematic from the beginning.
Yeah. I don't know. This one just.
All right. Here's the thing. Can I just say? I want to say a thing.
All right.
So
we got 17 minutes.
Who set up the Qatari cellular phone system? Oh, it's French Orange. French Orange went throughout the Middle East, set up all these phone systems, set up their surveillance systems, and basically sold them the packages they're using to now take data from Europeans.
It's the circle of life.
That's cute.
Yeah.
When
you
guys get all upset about GDPR and all the rest, we're going to protect our citizens, but we're going to sell you the bullet and the gun to go after your own.
Well, I imagine they promised only to use it for good stuff.
Oh yeah, this handshake says, but only use it for good things.
Yeah,
no
only
problem.
Good things.
Agreed.
Yeah. That was in the memo field of the check.
Right.
All right, we'll only use for good things.
Like murdering the people who don't believe that an invisible person told them what to do.
Wow.
Well, they've been doing that for a long time, but
yeah, only good things, Rob.
This is the Germans saying that the French shouldn't have taken the money.
Right? When the Germans are telling you to back off, you gotta listen, man.
Yeah, think about that.
So there's the pristine meteorite story, and this just popped up right. I saw this right before we went up, but this is interesting because they found 100-gram or something meteorite that crashed the ground. But the interesting thing is they saw it come down. And so they can actually compute the trajectory of the meteor, and that's actually really rare. The article says that there's only been like 50 or so cases
Right.
where we've been able to spot the meteor as it flies down, as it falls to Earth, and then find it afterwards. So this is
Are you
actually
like looking at the picture? Are you sure that's a meteorite? Because I have some
Man.
stuff in my yard that
looks like that.
looks like
Yeah.
that. I was gonna
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that stuff in your yard might be a meteorite. I mean, don't you live in an area with like historic amounts of meteorite, on the
say,
ground?
I don't know that that's true at
There's
all,
some
but
parts in the Midwest where if you find a certain kind of rock, it's a meteorite because there's no
mm,
native rock surfaces like that. But yeah,
yeah, not here. We have too much glacial movement.
Yeah.
Lahores.
Anyway, I just thought that article was neat. I never really thought about. Yeah, of course, it would actually be pretty rare
Look at
for you to
that.
be
That's
able.
cool.
They've got a map. They can figure out the trajectory, and
Alsta.
that's not how this usually works. So good on them.
That's neat.
The only
That
other,
said, our friends from Think Geek, a lot of them ended up starting that mini museum company.
I have one sitting
And
back there.
yeah, I've got a pile. But like he's really good at going and finding meteorites when they fall prominently to the ground. So that's his thing. But yeah.
There's whole TV shows about that.
Meteor hunters.
Yep.
So what are they going to do once they figure out the trajectory? Are we going to launch something back at where the meteorite came?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
Starship
So we make
Troopers
sure.
time. We got to
Yeah.
get those bugs.
Yeah.
That's right.
A smart bug, sir? I'm offended.
Guys, we got to join the army. Have you ever thought about being a fascist?
Would you like to know more?
Would you like
Hey,
to know?
Gary,
Press
citizenship.
here.
Yeah, I used to have that in my archive.
Oh man. So the only other, I just had a couple of the media thing. This week's Rick and Morty tickled all of my buttons. Have you seen it yet, Rob?
I have.
And you understand why they fall into the metaverse where everything is
Lord.
meta, and they meet Joe Campbell.
Yes. Well, the ghost of Joe Campbell.
Yeah.
And the superheroes that they meet are fantastic. It was a complete send up of everyone making the cinematic universe of everything.
Right.
It
But
was really nice.
But like the first one that you meet, its name is Leon. It's previous Leon.
Yep. Don't let him say previously on
Oh
Rick and
no.
Morty.
We got to dodge the credits. Hang on. So it might be the most fourth wall breaking thing that I've seen in a while. And
Brett Kahn.
Yeah, Brett Kahn.
Brett Kahn.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. Like I think that the general position on Rick and Morty this season has been kind of down, but I gotta say, I think that they've stepped up their writing game. Like they're being clever. I'm having a lot of fun this season.
Previously on bites Jesus's ankle when all hope seems lost.
Yep. But they actually say, like, didn't South Park do this in the 90s? they articulate that. It's great. That's show, man. I think that I'm a happy camper.
There's a bit in there where they meet the writer of one of these characters and they have to fight, and he goes through this whole story about how he was forced to add this one bit to this Rick and Morty episode and always hated it and it was stupid and no one told him what to do. And I really hope that the story he's telling is something that actually happened.
It's got to
during a
be.
production meeting.
That's
It
got
was
to be.
great.
Con.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, this one, and then like there was an episode earlier with the Knight family, and I just thought they've had some really great stuff this season. So props to them. I was afraid that show was gonna fall apart, but they're still that was a home run for me. Did we get any good media this weekend? Is anything watchable?
What did I watch?
I dug into the old horror movies that I had to watch yet, so I watched the last Halloween and the Hellraiser reboot.
What'd you think
we
of
watched
Halloween?
Bodies.
Oh, Bodies is fun. What'd you think of the last Halloween?
I didn't much care for
Halloween
it, to be honest with you.
sputters to an end.
Yeah, it was just too convoluted for my taste. But
Sure.
what are you going to do? How many times can you
Yeah.
tell a story about a near indestructible human being who goes around and kills people on Halloween? Right?
Right.
There's only
Yeah.
only so many variations of that you can use.
I really liked the first 2/3 of that movie, and then I didn't care at all about the last third.
Yeah, it just got, I don't know, just too weird for me.
What'd you think of Bodies, 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 Chris?
Um, it was fine, you know. I loved the part at the end with Pete Davidson's phone. I thought that was extremely Pete Davidson.
Yep.
I was like, that was I really laughed when that happened. I was like, well, yeah, of course.
I thought
Bunch
that the
of
way that movie
drama.
played out was kind of perfect for what that genre of movie is, and I
Yeah,
also really liked that they were simultaneously being that generation, but also poking fun of that generation,
sure.
which I thought was really charming.
It was so high drama
Yeah,
and just like all this stuff,
but
and I'm
so
like,
tongue in cheek about it.
yeah, I
Uh,
thought it was okay.
we also rewatched Jurassic Park at my house this weekend, and I
Mm.
got to tell you that still holds up. But I wasn't aware of it. The version that I watched, the shot towards the end where the girl falls like from the ceiling and like
And then there's
hangs.
Charlie Sheen with the cocaine.
Yep,
Yeah.
Charlie Sheen with white powder on his mustache. No, but the stunt double, the stunt actress looks up, and you can clearly see the stunt actor's face. They digitally replaced the face in that shot in the version that I watched. I was like, when did that happen? That's weird. They special editioned it. But I need some good media. But after Thanksgiving, I can start up on Christmas movies, so that'll be nice.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got to put together a good list. Spooktober gave me a good excuse to watch a lot of the classic horror with
Now you're
uh,
in
the
turkeys
13-year-old.
turkey oriented
There's
movies.
not a lot of Thanksgiving movies, and I'm pretty.
Planes, trains, and automobiles, and that's it.
Yep, I'm pretty of the opinion that Christmas doesn't start until the day after Thanksgiving. I'm hard on that. That's a rule for me. And so I've been holding off, and there's like 3 Christmas movies that came out in the last few months that I kind of want to see.
So I have a question.
Yes.
This is connected to the ski lift story.
Okay.
Could planes, trains, and automobiles be done today, given it was so snowy and cold, and that was a big part of the show?
And how John
Like,
Hughes and Johnny Candy are both
Well,
dead.
well,
well, we got absolutely hammered here
yeah,
uh,
okay,
this
yeah.
past
No, we did
week.
too. This is going to be a great skiing year.
Yeah.
And then
Kelly
and
still
then
got
not
2 feet.
yeah, yeah, a good portion of the west side of the state got over 2 feet of snow.
Yeah.
And then that's not to mention Buffalo. I
Yeah,
don't
they
know
got
what the final total. It
that's
was over 6 feet at
crazy.
some point.
Yeah.
6.
Oof.
That's like when we were kids, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, we have friends, there, and we're like calling them, be like, doing all right. They're like, yeah, we're all right. Holy crap.
It'd be cool if this got melted out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
I mean, at that point, you bring out the torch to
yeah.
clear the snow, as opposed to,
Well,
Well, at that point you're screwed because you don't have anywhere to put the snow.
yeah.
Like it doesn't even
well, that's why
matter.
you use a torch. You let it melt. Become a
But then
ice
when
slick
it
in front of
just
your house.
freezes and
Yeah.
makes everything even worse.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I once had to go and take an axe to the ice dam
Oh,
that we
yeah.
built to the
Oh,
bottom
yeah.
of our driveway.
My I
I'm picturing
routinely
like old people having heart attacks clearing snow.
I remember my dad vividly. The rule in our neighborhood was that if you had a fire hydrant on your property, you were supposed to keep it clear. And I remember one year my dad out there with a spade, and the entire fire hydrant was buried, and he had to dig out the entire fire hydrant, but with a spade,
Wow.
because the snow had melted so densely that a shovel wouldn't do it.
Yeah, we just used the mall on the ice off the roof and stuff like that. I can remember having to do that, going and
Yeah.
having to physically break the ice off the roof
Mhm.
because it would be huge icicles, like 6, 7 feet.
Yeah. And then does your mom yell at you like, "Stay away from that ice. It'll kill you. That ice
No,
is
there's no
murder."
there's no safety precautions at the Rosewood House.
Yeah.
If you could walk away, that you were safe. You did it
My
right.
my house never had a lot of icicles, but both of my neighbor houses, on either side of us, had like the thing where like the sheet of icicles would build up over the course of the winter. And my parents were very clear that I was not to go anywhere near those icicles. So of course, what you do is you get out there with your baseball bat and you just start wailing on the neighbors' walls. I want
So-
these icicles to come down. Do the most dangerous thing you possibly can do.
Until you get a really nice one that you can use for a sword.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
they're
they're
so
so
sword
cool.
fight.
Yeah.
Or you pretend that they're popsicles and lick them, even though that's
Yeah.
probably pretty disgusting.
Well, how disgusting is it really?
Right. I mean, you're 10.
There are worse things to lick when you're 10 years old.
Mhm.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's
no,
taking
You got a
but
hard
taking a
stop.
very
I will
dangerous
say,
path.
I always stayed away from them because I had read that mystery about the person getting killed with the
Mhm.
the icicle. So I was like, oh, those are weapons of killing. So I was strange.
Yeah. Murder. All
Me,
right.
I was more like, that icicle can't kill me.
Right. It'll only wound you.
See,
And-
smashed again.
Come on, if a 22 to the shoulder didn't kill me, no, all right.
Right.
All right. Let's say goodbye to Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
And goodbye to Chris DeBona.
See ya.
That was episode 760 of Geeks in Space. Maybe we'll see you Friday. It's Black Friday. Who knows? Maybe we'll be busy. I was Rob Commander Taco Mold. Bye.
Pieces.